This has a little matching hoodie to it. I want the presentation to be nice. Let's leave it like fold it in thirds. Okay, so we're going to use this plain white gift box. Now, with boxes like this, you do notice that when you fold them out, they tend to try to fold back in. They like to stay like this, but I have a little technique that you might like to help deal with this problem. There are these little folds right here. You see this piece of little paper board there. We're going to take our tape and we're going to tape this piece to the side wall here. My tape. Just press it on there, and that keeps it straighter. Sometimes the tape pops off. You might have to use more than one piece. We're going to do all the sides. I gave that one an extra piece. So these are just plain white boxes like that. So I have this festive tissue paper. This came from Walmart. Look at the nice edging on this paper. It's so pretty. So I have a couple of pieces of this paper, and I'm going to lay the items down in the box, just like that. And then I'm just going to take these pieces of tissue paper and fold them back over the items. Then you can just take a piece and lay it over the top if you want to, just like that. I'm going to do the top of the box the same way I did the bottom part, reinforcing the corners to keep them from folding in. Right now, I'm going to put the top on the box. Just like that. Now, since we have so many presents, and I want to make sure they don't get mixed up, I'm only going to use this paper on the 8-year-old's presents. This is some lovely frozen wrapping paper. Now, I believe for this package, it would be best to go this way with it. Now I'm going to turn the box upside down and place it here. but it's protruding a bit, so I'm going to trim the edge. Okay. You want to make sure the paper is straight. Now, we have this part right here. We're going to fold it over this way. I'm going to put in a little crease right here and a little crease right here. I fold it in and flat here on the table. I'm going to do this side the same way. By turning the box upside down, you're going to have the seam of the paper on the underside of the box, so the top will have just a nice smooth surface of paper. Now this is quite thick wrapping paper, and sometimes with the thick wrapping paper it kind of sticks out a little bit. Plus you have these little edges here. You can always take extra tape and tape that down if you want to. These presents are going to have to be transported 2 times, one by me to the facility, and then from the facility to the parents' house, so I want to make sure it's secure. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I cut the paper a little bit unevenly, but that's okay, it's not going to show. So again, you want to just make a crease over here and a crease over here. You're going to fold that part in and then put a crease there. This really thick paper is kind of hard to work with, but I wanted to get something that was sturdy and would withstand 2 trips. And there we have our first present for the Angel Tree Girls. For the second one, I'm going to try to fit actually do, because my mom bought a bunch of wrapping paper in some warehouse somewhere, and it was all super cheap, and it was red and white diagonal striped paper, and that's what she wrapped basically everything in my entire childhood. So I do know what kind of paper I had my presents wrapped in, and she still had some of it left the last time I was at her house. It's crazy. I can actually trim that a little bit. Okay. Now with the package like this, it's kind of similar to the boxes, but a little different. You're just going to take these corners, fold them in a little bit, press it down, and then you bring the paper up like that. This stationery set was kind of an odd size, and it wasn't a uniform size. Sometimes presents like this go better in a gift bag, but we are actually wrapping all of these and not placing them in gift bags, so that was not an option. So here we have the stationery set. Next we have this LOL Surprise Sweet Boardwalk little gift box with 10 plus surprises. Okay. We're gonna do this one this way. Now this paper is not scored. I really like the paper that has a grid on the underside, but this paper does not. And I'm gonna try to cut it a little straighter this time. In order to do that, I'm gonna flip the paper over so I can see something. Although I have realized the pattern on here is not straight, it's diagonal, so flipping it over really isn't going to help me any. Okay, I don't know if that really helped me or not. So we're going to place the present in the middle and see how much of this we need to trim off. Okay. I try to avoid putting tape on the actual present itself. The way I wrap presents is not fancy, but it was the way I was taught by my mom to do it when I was 8 years old, and I've just continued doing it the same way. Trying to make sure the present's kind of in the middle of the paper. So we're doing this again just like the gift boxes. There we have the little LOL Surprise Sweet Boardwalk gift. Next I have a collection of books. I have this book about ocean monsters. It's a fascinating animal book. A packet of little stickers. A frozen book. A sprinkle fun, an activity and coloring book. And a cuddly kittens sticker has to be in the frozen paper. So we're going to wrap these separately. There's really no good way to wrap this. I'm hoping that this piece will be enough to wrap the mini brands thing. If not, I'm sure I can find a use for it. Okay. I've just rolled it in the paper. Yeah. And I'm going to tape it. Now, wrapping something like this, I call it controlled crumpling, because basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to sort of crumple it in a lovely fashion on both sides and then tape it down. I just kind of crumpled it, and then it sort of comes together at a point, and then you just the same way. You can see that I have folded, I creased these parts and then folded them in. Then we just grab this part, flip it up, and tape it. That is the beautiful Woodland Creatures throw. The next item we have is this great big pillow. It's a standard I was not able